As a young entrepreneur, you might find obstacles or difficulties when you're trying to source out capital to remove your business from the ground. Well, in this episode of the Youth Business Lounge, we're going to be discussing the different ventures one can actually get their capital from. Welcome to the Youth Business Lounge. My name is Martha.
Well, my name is Clinton Liberty, and welcome again to the Youth Business Lounge. Today we have an exciting topic for you. Whoever is out there watching us, you're going to benefit so much from what we're about to tell you today. Stay tuned. Thank you.
Last year during the Kampala Impact Day, organized by Einstein Rise in one of the incubation centers in Uganda, realized that capital was really a problem, and it was one of their themes. Actually, it was their theme. And so today we are going to really discuss the guide on how to source capital for your business, and it's going to be really an exciting topic. Why? Because we have a guest that is really for the people, the young people. Regardless, my name is Samali Nawagala, and welcome to the Youth Business Lounge.
Yes, with us we have our very own Sempija Stanley. He is CEO Sage Buyers. You're most welcome to the show.
Thank you, Martha.
Yes, we are very happy to have you today, and as we are expecting a lot from you, because one, you're a business person, you are a young entrepreneur, and the beauty about this all is that you're now part of the launch team. Say hello to our viewers.
I'm honored to be here. My name is Sempija Stanley, and I'm the CEO and proprietor of a company called Sage Buyers. It's a privately held company that is an Apple retail center in East Africa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, starting with that, Mr. Sempija. Yeah, Mr. Sempija, not Mr. Stanley. What do you think about capital in regards to a country like Uganda? Because you realize that Uganda is one of the most, has the most young entrepreneurs, and it's one of the most entrepreneurial countries in the world. But you realize that most of them fail to come up or fail to last long to see their birthdays, their first birthdays, and realize that most times capital is the business. Capital is the problem. Why is it so?
You see, to run any business, you need capital. Capital is business. If business is a car, capital is like the fuel that drives it forward. And capital, of course, is in very many forms. There is human capital. There is also financial capital. Yeah. So the reason most businesses fail is they don't know how to manage this capital. They don't know how to get it in the first place, and they don't know how to manage the capital.
Okay.
So, giving us your story as Sage Buyers, how did you come up with the entire idea? Then also, how did you get all the capital to fuel your business?
The financial capital.
Yeah.
So in 2018, I was in my third year at campus, and at the end of 2018, I got an idea because of what I went through about 3 years ago. 3 years ago was before I started medical school. I had an iPhone 5S, and
You're the cool kid of that time.
I know.
Yeah, it was the thing by then. So I had this phone, and it got an issue with wooden SIM cards. I took it to one of the dealers downtown, Mutasa. I'm sure most of you know that place.
Capero.
Yeah, Mutasa Capero. So I handed it over to this gentleman to fix something that was not a very serious issue. Of course, the phone could power on and all that, but it had an issue of reading SIM cards. So when I give my phone to this gentleman, I come back after 5 days, and the phone can't work. I don't know what he did to the phone, whether he switched the parts. I don't know what he did, but I tried looking out for justice. I tried to, ask a few
that
people.
That time you'll be very angry and sad and...
Exactly. I tried asking around people who could help me have that resolved, but it was all in vain. So 3 years after, I realized that there is actually there's a burning need for an authentic Apple reseller and repair center in the country because of the growing number of iPhone users.
Yeah.
I'm sure Martha uses an iPhone, so iPhone users are growing in number every day. So when I realized that the number is growing and there's this growing need that no one is tackling, I decided to be that person to solve that problem. I decided to be that person to bring the solution to the market, the solution of having a a store that you can trust 100%. The solution of having a store is going to give you an authentic
Authentic.
product.
When you say authentic, me, I've faced all kind of iPhone buyers down there. I think I had a 7%. Know how they get squashed every time, and they all claim they're authentic. What differs it from the others? You as Sage.
Me as Sage, I pay extra attention to my product cycle. By product cycle, I mean from where it comes from up to when it reaches.
It's actually very important.
So I have a lot of quality control and quality assurance measures in there. Of course, I work with a team. I don't work alone. I can't pull this off alone. So from the supplier up to the transportation, when the products get here, when the products get to the store, before the customer takes the product, I have control centers. I have different steps and which each of those iPhones is checked. However big the numbers are, because we've sold over 5,000 iPhones.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so
good business.
I can assure you that all those iPhones have been checked to the dot, and my customers can testify that.
Actually, I've never heard anyone complain about set price. But me, most importantly, what we want to know today is how did you source for capital for this venture?
Exactly.
As a university student.
As I said, there are two different forms of capital.
Yeah, human.
There is human capital, and then there is financial capital. So in my third year, at the end of my third year in 2018, I don't know if you guys remember this, but I had a back and forth with a celebrity on the internet.
Yeah.
Her name was Sheila Gashumba.
Okay.
Yeah, she tweeted a picture of her iPhone XR by then, and I told her I had 2 iPhone Xs. It was a bit surprising for me for a whole celebrity to brag about a medium range iPhone when they are criminal.
For you,
but by then, XR was actually something.
Yeah, it was something, but it wasn't the flagship of the year.
Yes.
So I got triggered by that, and I had a short interaction with that, and the internet seemed to pique interest in it. So that gave birth to my popularity on the internet. So when I became popular on the internet, I got what they call social capital.
Okay.
Yeah, people started to know me for iPhones.
Yeah.
Everywhere I could pass, like, that's the iPhone guy. So in my head, as an entrepreneur, someone who spots opportunity and grabs it, I said, now this is the time I have to do this. Now that I have the social capital, I don't have the finances yet, but I have the social capital, which is also very important. These two have to play hand in hand. Yeah, well, so I had the social capital, I used the social capital. Now I started with, actually didn't start with anything. I didn't go to my parents to give me money.
National speaker. Hey.
Yeah, with a USB cable.
You started a chicken farm with a feather.
Yeah, I could say I started with one iPhone.
Okay.
And that was my iPhone.
Your very own.
Yeah, so I realized I have a very big following on my social media due to the back and forth I had with this celebrity. And this following knows me for iPhone. So I'm like, this is where it starts. Okay. Since they know me for iPhone, now let me try to solve this iPhone issue that, most of them must be having. Exactly. So on the 1st of December 2018, I put out a tweet showing that I have started. Actually, I didn't say I have started. I told them I have, but I had just started because I had gotten that social capital. So when I put out that tweet, there's one individual actually, there's one guy who reached out to me and he's like, I want an iPhone. So when he reached out, I was like, okay, he wants an iPhone. How do I get him an iPhone? An authentic iPhone. Yeah, so I had local suppliers by then who I used to buy iPhones from. So I just got in touch with them and I'm like, you guys, you know what? I've started something and I need your support. I don't have any money, but I have a following.
I have the market.
Yes, I have the market and you have the product. So how do we do this? So I started selling 1 iPhone, 2 iPhones, 3 iPhones.
To 5,000 iPhones.
5,000 iPhones now.
It's quite a number.
Yeah, so I started with one feather, as you say.
Yeah, and then now you have a poultry house.
It has now,
So many businesses today are going through the same, kind of same route. Why? Because most youth today look at how they can start small and grow big, and they want to use that kind of they want to use that kind of model to actually, you know, take them to where you are right now. And of course, the way you've said, you started with one iPhone, and then now, of course, you're looking at having profiled 5,000 iPhones sold. So many businesses out there, for the people watching us, want to, are in a phase of, you know, they're still growing, you know, they want to actually grow big. But of course, there are so many things that they are lacking, and there are so many strategies that you have used to grow big. What are some of those strategies?
Some of those strategies, I won't even lie, but the most important thing in business, especially when you're starting, is honesty. You gotta be very, very honest to your customer and to every person that you're dealing with in that cycle. Of course, it's a chain. Yeah, business starts from the supplier, you know, and then to the customer. So you have to be as honest as possible, especially when you're starting.
Actually, I think the honesty, he's right about the honesty, because coming back to capital, which is the topic today, I presume that if you don't have an honest person, it will really be pretty difficult for maybe the people you interact with here and there, for example, angel investors, to really source out or to give you this money to start your business. Regardless, I want to first of all take time to talk about the human capital. Why? Because it is something that is usually people ignore it. People don't take the time to personally develop or decide for the people who are working for them, or to ensure that they outsource the best team. So you as set buyers, how have you done it to make sure that you have the best team or the best human capital on board to make sure that you serve like East Africa? And also, what are some things that what are some of the things you'd want the young entrepreneurs to, I don't know how to say it, to practice in order to get the best human capital on board?
Yeah, talking about human capital, the first employee I had, or the first, maybe I should call them a partner, came to me, approached me and offered me free services. Like, you guy, I see what you're doing, I believe in it, I believe in this vision, and I want to work with you. I don't care how much you pay me, I don't care if you pay me, but I want to be a part of this vision. So I was maybe lucky enough, or perhaps that was the universe rewarding my handwork and my vision and anger.
Say it, which hard work. You are just ready.
Is he still with you?
To have
Is this person still with you?
XS and post them, which hard work was that? Anyway.
Are you still with him?
Unfortunately, he's not still with me. He moved on to part of their studies.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting for them to finish before they can begin the team.
So you're known for having, I think I've seen you mainly on social media. Like whenever a buyer comes, they have that cup, you took the branding thing another level.
Client picture.
Yes, then the paper bag, it has the Sage buyer, like the one who is on camera recording is okay. The client is literally very, very happy. And then the entire packaging like is really, really awesome. That's also a part of your strategy, or it's just you being you?
Yeah, you see, when I was going into the market, I knew there are other people in the market.
Very many.
And then I realized I had to brand myself to stand out. I had to innovate things that are not in the market and then bring them into the market. Yeah, and most of the things I innovated are now being taken up by everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you realize the picture thing now, everyone is doing pictures.
Paper bag.
I realized that he has actually really utilized the social media or Twitter as a platform for his business. Regardless, me, I want to this human capital here. Apart from you leading by charisma, because this guy just came and is like, for me, I want to be part of it, because maybe he just had this liking for you and believed in you. How else have you been able to? Like, what is this human capital you're talking about actually?
Yeah, so as I said, honesty and human capital. Let me first talk in terms of my employees.
Yeah.
So as an employer, you have to be exemplary. You have to be the face of what you want your employees to be like. You can't tell your people to keep time and they don't keep time. They won't keep the time. Yeah, so as an employer, I always try to lead by example. I try to live by example, and I only take on board people that I see have the same hunger and energy as I do. Yeah, I don't just recruit anyone, because recruitment is a very, very tricky thing.
Yeah.
Building teams around is a very tricky thing. It's something that takes time. It's something managing. Actually, managing people is one of the hardest things to do in business. Yeah, leave alone collecting capital or what, but managing the human capital is one of the hardest things, and I can testify that.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm sure as all of, even you here as a team, I'm sure you find those challenges here and there. But yeah, I managed to put together a team of people that are as hungry as I am. Even you can't realize that I'm away from the business most of the time because I'm also a doctor. Because I have this team of people who have the same vision and do things just the same way that I would do them.
And you must be paying them some good money. That's why they
Yeah, maybe that's why they're actually very motivated.
Yeah,
Yes.
I must say money is a motivating factor, but also how you treat them is also
Yeah.
very important.
So from what you said, I picked out them having the hunger, the energy, and also the money. I mean, them being treated nicely.
good environment.
But you've talked about leading by example. Do you know that you can still be leading by example and still there are fellows that won't pick up? How do you handle, or how do you just be like Genda, or you disciple them into what you want them to do? And if you disciple them, aren't you scared that they'll leave their business once they know what to do?
Exactly, that happens. I've had a couple of people I've trained and they left me after and started competing businesses. Yeah, I also have one of the people that left me and started the same business actually close to me. She took away a couple of my customers. But those are things you can't avoid. Those are things you can't avoid. Yeah, those are just things you can't avoid. You have to make sure you're building a team around you. Make sure the team is growing with you. Make sure you're teaching them. Make sure you're following up on them. And you're not just delegating, but you're working together. You're collaborating. I don't believe in delegating. I believe in collaboration. If I give you a task, I don't leave you to suffer with it alone.
You just don't sit and keep ordering people around.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I'll lead you through, I'll give you clear instructions, and I'll follow through with you. I'll guide you where you've gone wrong, and I'll try to correct you.
So then you just don't trust people. Off night.
No, I don't trust people like that, because my recruitment process is also very stringent. I don't just bring in anyone. They have to have a certain couple of values. Just like when Steve Jobs was starting Apple back in the day, he brought on people that had certain values. Yeah, he brought on people that were hard working to a certain extent. He brought on people that had passion. He brought on people that he could work with to build this vision. Yeah, because those are the kind of people that you need. If actually recruiting the wrong people can cost you a lot.
Yes.
As a business, actually.
Yeah.
What are some of these values that you search for in your employees or in your team?
First of all, I search for passion. You have to be passionate about the business. Then I search for attention to detail, because it's a very complicated business. It's a very high value business, and you need to pay extra attention, because any slight mistake can cost you millions and millions of shillings. And as you're not building a business online, if you handle one client just poorly, you can mess up
Everything.
So I give special consideration to people who have a special eye for details. Yeah, details and hard work. Most of the things can always be worked through. Yeah, and they have to be very teachable as well.
Me and Clinton yesterday were talking about something, attending events, business events, where you outsource and Clinton, you know this thing better. How do you, okay, he was talking about young people as an entrepreneur, making sure that you stand up, or like you're always attending these expos and making sure that you put yourself out there and maybe let people know your business, especially the people who you really know that can invest in you. How do you think, does it really work better? Like, did you use it as part of your business?
Yeah, I think that's more about positioning. How you position yourself in this market is very important. Regardless of what you do, regardless of which profession you're in, you have to be able to position yourself strategically to people who are going to push you.
Yeah.
Who are going to push you in the direction that you want to go. Yeah, that's why, as we said, the conversation we had around attending expos that help you skill, that help people when I help you to where you want to go. It is very, very important. It's something that I do, something that I plan with my team to engage in these activities where we can meet people that can push us forward. I think in our next session we're going to talk about sourcing capital from financial capital. So I'll tell you more about how I've met people in random situations.
Good. Ladies and gentlemen, we are having the director of Sage Buyers with us today. And of course, we cannot forget our hosts today, Onomo Hotel. Thank you so much for always hosting us today. We always love the food here. It's amazing. You know, they have so many services that are very, very important to our clients. So Onomo Hotel, thank you so much for being a part with us today. Now, of course, as we conclude our first session, we want to just highlight something. This is also a structure of how we can source funds, right? And this to me is what we call networking and building relationships. Now, before, of course, we close for the first session, and then you tell us more as you expound more on how we can source funds for the youth who want to expand their businesses. I believe that networking and building relationships, just like we are building a relationship here with Sage Buyers, is very, very important because, you know, it's important to know the people you hang around with, okay? And the people that you hang around with could be the same people that will direct you to where the funds are. You see, so of course, if you want to be rich, you can't hang with the poor. You have to hang out with the rich, so that you know you keep the mentality at its peak. So I believe that networking and building relationships is good. You have built so many relationships for Sage Buyers. Tell us about how you have been going over that and how it has helped you to continue building, the brand Sage Buyers, and how has it been impactful for you?
There's a certain gentleman I follow. It's called Naval. He has a series of quotes called Navalism. You guys can check him out. And he has a saying that says he doesn't believe in networking, but he believes that if you can create value, the networks will look for you.
Okay.
Yeah, so that brings me to the point of relationships. In any relationship, you have to be able to bring value to the table. Yeah?
And you bring to the table.
Exactly, you have to bring some value to the table. If I was to come to Smart 24 and I'm not getting any value, I'm definitely not coming back here. You understand? So even with the relationships with the people, you have to deliberately make sure you're adding value to them. Yeah, if you want to have healthy relationships with people, there has to be something extra. It has to be a symbiotic relationship, not a parasitic relationship. Yeah, so in all relationships that I try to build with my clients, with my potential investors, with my suppliers, I always make sure I am putting something of value to them. Exactly. Yeah. Once I put value to them, then it is human nature for them to reciprocate. And you don't have to be afraid to always give first. It's okay to always give first.
Good.
As long as you support.
By the way,
you say it's in human nature to reciprocate. These days,
people are harsh
anyway, me, I'm so interested because when we talk about the relationships, I presume you as a person in the open, you've had relationships on and off social media. So, you as a business person, I presume there are very many scammers online. Have you had any relationships that you've gotten off Twitter, like you start by texting and then make it physical and then they help you, or somehow they are customers or investors of that business?
Yeah, I should say I built 95% of my relationships
online.
Like you meet them online, then after you make it physical?
Exactly, and as you said, there's so many scammers. So as a person who is operating a high value business, you need connections that help you that are going to protect you against scammers. Because situations will obviously come in business. Take it or leave it. There will always be those situations where you need someone in a higher power to protect your interests. So I've always been deliberate in making these relationships. I've always been deliberate in reaching out to the right people who can protect my interests when I need them. Yeah. So in business, I think as far as Uganda is concerned, there will always be those situations where someone tries to take advantage of you, or someone tries to steal from you. So it's important to have those relationships that can, help you in those situations. Yeah.
So the beauty about you is that every single detail in your business is actually important. Because sometimes you might meet someone online via Twitter or Instagram or any social media platform, and just like that, you don't know how important they are. So as an entrepreneur out there, we are really putting into consideration every single detail in our business. It's just to grow it both socially and then physically. Because at the moment, social media has the most numbers of customers, and you can attest to that.
Exactly. 60%, actually not 60%, 70% of the population in Uganda, of the adult population in Uganda uses the smartphone.
Yeah, especially the ones uptown.
Exactly, uptown, even in the villages, these phones are starting to penetrate. Brands like Techno, Infinix are starting to penetrate. So if you want to get anyone's attention right now, I think you guys have been following the Kampala protocol.
Yes.
Yeah, it all started on social media, and you can see the government acting. So if you want to get anyone's attention right now, you have to have your social media game up there. You have to have your social media game up there, and it is something that I take courses in digital marketing. It's something that I learn about every single day, because it is, as Smart 24 as well, you have to make sure your digital footprint is solid, because it's one of the many ways that you can get people's attention.
Good. No, we have picked so many lessons today. For the people who are watching us, we have talked about honesty, we have talked about the power of social media, we have talked about building relationships, we have talked about human capital as well. So we have talked about so much that can actually help you build your business to a better place. Just like we have the Sage Buyers going into deeper and deeper heights in terms of business. No, we are excited to continue to host our director of Sage Buyers. There is so much he has to offer for us today. We are going to go for a short break. We shall be back to continue to explain